Yo, what's going on, guys? Matt and Cam back with you from the Talking Pod. It is draft season. We are all awaiting the draft just a couple more days. So, we thought we'd get together and make a little mock draft for you guys and see if you guys agree with our takes. So, let's get straight into it. Cam, anything you want to say before we start?
These people on TV don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Mal Kiper is literally out of his mind if he thinks Niners are solid on taking Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, but I agree with you. I think it's just a smoke screen, man. Let's see what we got.
It's number 3, 2 first-round draft picks, and there's a quarterback that's going to come to you at 10 to move up to 9 or 8. Like, you don't move up to number 3 for fucking...
For Mac Jones.
I
think it's Mac Jones.
Against him, bro. Like, I would love to be in his position, but not number 3.
All right, so I think the first pick is pretty obvious. We have a guy who's been such a consensus first round pick for so long. It's going to be really interesting to see if he actually lives up to that expectation. And he might have a lot of pressure on him. I think he will be very, very solid. He's definitely go ahead and draft Trevor. He's definitely going to be good over there. But another interesting thing to think about is Minshew is not bad.
Oh, definitely not. Like he I wouldn't say he's another Nick Mullins, but he's better than Nick Mullins. Like he can,
I think he's definitely
starter if he wants to. But I mean, definitely a good backup that someone might want to have. Obviously, the Niners would have liked it last year when Jimmy gets hurt. We probably could have won a few more games, but he's a good starter if you need him. But he's gonna be a great backup somewhere else. Hopefully.
Definitely, man. I mean, so you agree with that first pick, obviously, then?
Oh, yeah. Urban Meyer, I love Urban Meyer, bro. I've followed him since Florida and then Ohio State. And then he's a good QB guy. I know a lot of Ohio State QBs haven't climbed out into the NFL, but obviously they've been ranked.
You're right. That's another storyline to get into. New quarterback, new coach should be honestly pretty fun to watch. So we are in agreement that first 2 picks, at the very least, no trades, right?
No trades. I mean, they can go back and forth. I don't know how Salah's thinking if he's going to take, I don't know, Justin maybe, but that's obviously 0.001%. But, it could go different ways, so we'll see how they Jets.
So for the second pick, it seems, according to the reports, that Zach Wilson's pretty much a lock for number 2, correct?
Yeah, I mean, honest to God, I really didn't know about him until probably like the end of the season, coming to the end. I didn't think he was too good, but looking on him now, I mean, crazy how he was going to go top 10. Now he's going top 2.
Yeah, it's a lot of hype, man. It's a lot of hype that comes out in the very. Either your stock rises or your stock falls. Like we're kind of seeing with Justin Fields for, I don't think, really good reason. I don't really understand why his stock is falling. I mean, he's looked good in the pro days. He's looked good in the film. No interceptions. But, someone like Mac Jones, his stock rises. But we'll see. So number 2, we're going to go Zach Wilson.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, number 3, this is an interesting one. This is the San Francisco 49ers. You guys know me and Cam are Niners fans.
Yeah.
So the whole deal with him is that, or with this pick, is that everybody's saying Mac Jones is going to be the guy that gets taken. I mean, a couple months ago, they were talking about him falling to 15 to the Patriots, and now we're talking about he's going to be picked with the 3rd overall pick after we drafted up and gave up a bunch of picks to take him.
I think they're just saying that because Kyle and John went to Alabama's pro day instead of going to Ohio State's pro day. But as you've seen, when Nick Bosa was coming out, they didn't go to Nick Bosa's pro day. The player development, I'm pretty sure VP went, and they're saying, Quinton Williams is definitely getting drafted number 2.
I do remember that.
So I mean, that same player development guy went to Ohio State and watched Justin Fields while they were in Alabama. But I think this time, obviously, they need to go because of the top pick. That's their next pick is going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. But I think it's going to be Justin Fields because he's just a really good. He's what Kyle looks at. Like, yeah, he likes Kirk Cousins. He likes he's not really mobile, not really athletic, but they can throw the ball. But I think in that offense, the amount of play action they run and the amount of running they do and what they can do with him and boosting up the offensive line and what they just did, is definitely ridiculous in what they needed to do. So I think with hopefully Jimmy staying one more year after this, cut him, or seeing what Justin can do in OTAs or minicamp and see what happens. But I think in Kyle Shanahan's offense, that's going to be a scary offense if you see Justin Fields. I mean, or even Trey Lance, because they're both athletic.
Yeah, so here's why I agree with you. I also think if you make a trade like this, you're doing it for a blockbuster type of superstar guy, you know? You don't do this for no reason. And I just don't believe they're doing it to get Mac Jones, who very well could have fell a little bit. I don't believe they would trade all this for the third overall pick if they didn't want a guy that they really, really, really were dead set on. Also, another factor is maybe they're just, showing the Mac Jones, showing him love because they want to do like a smokescreen, make it look like they're not interested in Justin Fields. Get the Jets to want Zach Wilson, make sure he's there, and then boom, pick up Justin Fields. The thing is, I really like Justin. I like the athleticism. I like his superstar potential. Mac Jones kind of does seem like a bigger Kirk Cousins. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mac Jones is a stud. And honestly, as a Niner fan, I'd be happy either way. I have to assume that Jimmy is going to start. And, with Jimmy's track record, he's a guy who's gotten hurt just about every year that he's played consecutive starting games. So it would only be either a short leash, or if he's playing bad, slot in the rookie, or if he gets hurt, rookie plays good. And we saw it with Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith. It's very they go with the young guys. You saw it with Patrick Mahomes also. So I think I'm agree with you. Gonna go Justin Fields at number 3, and that's gonna be fun to watch if that happens. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, this next pick is definitely a weird one. I think Atlanta's going to trade back. I don't think they want anybody. I don't think they want Penny or Kyle Pitts. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those guys, but I think they want more picks to have more guys. Maybe even take Mac Jones, but later in the round. Because I think, honest to God, I think either the Lions I think either Denver or Carolina is going to trade up number 4. If this whole honestly, maybe even Washington might trade up and get Trey. I mean, that's a long haul, but they're only far back is because they won their division. They were 6-9.
That would be tough.
But I think Falcons are going to trade back, most definitely. But I don't really know to who. I think it was either Carolina before that trade, or maybe even Denver.
I was thinking Carolina, but you make up a good point with Sam Darnold. Even though they really didn't have to give up much to get Sam Darnold, I could still see them doing it and picking up a Trey Lance. Because
what's their press them real quick? I want to see if they updated the trade. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they have 8. I can see a team like the Giants doing it as well.
Yeah, I think either that or the Washington, because I know they don't really they don't have a QB.
If they were to do it, it would be something like the first.
It'd be a first, third, and a first and a second next year for being so far back.
Probably something like this.
Maybe like a 4th.
Not for that.
You gotta throw in a 4th.
Wouldn't do it. They throw in a 4th
this year. There it is. I think that's definitely something that can happen.
I agree. Let's roll with that. Let's say that's going to go down. So Washington, we know. Do we see 4 straight quarterbacks being taken here?
They're not drafting up. They're not coming up to get anybody else but Trey Lance. They obviously won the division, but I mean, you won the division going with 7.
Because that stellar defense is what won them the division, and Antonio Gibson's going to break out next year even better.
They need a quarterback.
Watch out for him in fantasy football. I think a really dynamic backfield with Trey Lance and Gibson.
And you guys,
I like that. I like that. Let's go with that. I like that a lot. Now the Bengals, as you can see, they have no more AJ Green. They had the emergence of T. Higgins. They have Tate. They have a bunch of
And
receivers.
Boyd, Tyler
Yeah,
Boyd.
Boyd is a stud. I could see them getting a lineman because they really need someone to protect that blind side for Burrow, as he got hurt
Yeah.
and he was just getting thrashed out there. So I am leaning towards Oregon tackle. But what do you think here, Cam?
I was thinking more either or. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna get a Jamar. It's gonna either be Kyle Pitts or Panay. But I think they need to bolster that line and move. What's his name from Alabama? He's a left tackle right now. Move him to guard. And put Panay back there because Joe's gonna get fucking just smashed.
Yeah,
and, yeah, Joe and then Joe Burrow. I mean Joe
Mixon.
Still. I mean that they need to get that line set or nothing's gonna work. To be honest with you, the receivers already set. Tyler Boyd's pretty good. He's above average. T. Higgins is starting to emerge. Tate was emerging last year, so I think if they want to add another one, I wouldn't doubt it. Get Kyle, but I think they go for Panay.
Yeah, as you can see, they say that their number one need is wide receiver. I honestly kind of disagree. I really like how Higgins played. He had actually a super solid year. And as you said, Boyd is a stud, Tate is a stud. So that right there is 3 receivers. I could see them wanting a tight end, but I think just importance-wise, for what what's gonna help them win and develop their squad is gonna be more solidifying that line on the offensive. And they already have a pretty decent defensive line, as we know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Panay. You agree with me on that one?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they needed bolster line at the Niners to this offseason, and they signed anybody to bolster too much.
I think this would be a great pickup for them. Also,
he's definitely gonna fall. I don't think anybody's gonna come up to get him.
Yeah, I think they'd be happy with this. I think they'd be happy with this. So now we got the Dolphins. They traded their pick. Obviously, they were even. I read that they were even looking to trade again, but not sure about that. So what they obviously Pitts out of the question. They were stud in Mike Gesicki. Wide receiver, it could be interesting getting to another weapon. That's something Dolphins fans are always talking about in their excuses for why Tua wasn't all that great. They say, there are no weapons. All they have is Mike Gesicki and a bag of chips, So someone like Chase, Waddle, Devontae Smith could be interesting. Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards, it's hard to pick a wide receiver so soon.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hesitant on this. So I'm interested to hear what you think about this Dolphins pick. I could honestly see them trading back even.
Yeah, I think it's different that they traded back into number 6 pick because I don't know who. Obviously, they didn't want to be at number 12. Obviously, they were looking at somebody. But if they do want to trade back and get an extra pick because that's what they're known for fucking doing, I either say the Panthers come up and get Kyle Pitts, or either the Cowboys or the Giants trade up to get Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I think those guys could even fall to them also.
Yeah, I mean I think they're because the Detroit has what's his name? He works out with Kittle all the time. What's his name?
The Cowboys?
No, the tight end from Lions.
Hockenson.
Hockenson, yeah. So they're definitely not going to get another tight end. I think Lions are going to go Micah Parsons, but
he's going to be a stud. That's a guy I was thinking maybe to team up with Baker over there with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They're more of a defensive oriented team with their head coach.
Oh yeah, with Todd. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard because they do need to bolster up that line also too. A lot of young guys, but having Jamar still there, I think if they had a trade that they could have gotten, I think it'll be with the Carolina or Dallas. Most likely Dallas because Carolina. I don't think they think Kyle's probably going to fall to him. I don't think the Dolphins are going to pick him, obviously, and the Lions aren't. But maybe even the Chargers. They just lost. They lost Hunter Henry too. But or you can't trade with them. No. Chargers maybe too, but I don't. It's weird.
Chargers maybe the 13th,
That'd be a scary
2nd,
offense, most definitely.
and a third maybe for that 6th.
Yeah, because they have a.
No, maybe throw in one more guy there, and like a third.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't
So
think they would. But
if
if
they
they
couldn't get a,
Jamar,
I guess you'd have to go with Jamar because you know they do need weapons on the offensive side.
yeah, it's easy.
Let's go with that. But even though we did that, I would say watch out for them potentially trading once again.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they might trade back again. Lions, I think definitely they're going to get Micah Parsons. They need to bolster that defense up. Their linebacker core is ridiculously terrible.
Yeah, it's their defense is just absolute Swiss cheese. You know, I like seeing Jared Goff getting a second chance. You know, rejuvenate his career potentially. Yeah. He's still a young guy.
Most definitely, he's not like that.
So I'm a little excited for the Lions squad. You know, I really like Swift. I think he's electric. Getting a young linebacker, especially coming out of Penn State.
Well, they do. They do
need
wide receiver. They just lost Kenny Golladay.
They did. The good thing is the wide receiver class is pretty deep.
That's pretty deep, yeah.
It's pretty deep. It's a bit top heavy, but there's still a good amount of guys.
Yeah, you can't pass up on Micah. To be honest with you, that's definitely something.
Yeah, it's their most important need at the moment, I believe. So let's go.
They're definitely
all right. So Panthers, interesting team. We know they just got a quarterback. We know they have Curtis Samuel. They have DJ Moore.
We lost.
Who they lose? Curtis? They lost Curtis.
He went to Washington.
Yeah, they lost Curtis, but they do have DJ Moore. Yeah, and after that, it pretty much tails off.
Yeah. They don't have a tight end. That's what definitely.
No tight end. Yeah. So this is a bit of an interesting one. You could do Kyle Pitts. Could do Devontae Smith. Or we haven't seen any defensive guys come off the board yet. Patrick Surtain is very good.
Well, last draft, they went literally all defense. So I think this draft, I think they do need to address the offensive side of the ball. Hey, Sam Darnold, he has Joe Brady on his side also, quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. But they do need offensive weapons. They have Christian coming back. They have DJ and they have Robbie. But I think they need a check down guy for him with Kyle. But it is, yeah, they would like defense, yeah, but cornerback's kind of depth. Their depth is kind of there.
They started. What I liked is they started a lot of those young guys that they had just got. So, you know, they got a year of experience under their belt. They're going to come in, you know, knowing what to expect. They learned from their mistakes. Last year, I think that defense was really bad, at least to start. It was awful. Got a little better as the year went on. You know, just experience is going to help them a lot.
Yeah. So I think they do take Kyle Pitts. I know they need to address that with Sam Darnold. Help him with the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one. We're going to go Kyle for the 8th. Yeah, I know Cowboys fans wanted him to drop, but not unlucky, man. So here we got the Broncos.
That's a one that's tricky. They don't need wide receivers. They did. No, that's not.
I was kind of thinking, could you see them picking up Mac Jones? Drew Lock, man, he had 2 good games.
Yeah, I don't think they take Mac Jones that early. I
mean, last year they got a wide receiver, obviously.
Yeah, they got 2.
So they have 2. Like, it's not like they have a lack of weapons. They've spent draft picks on a tight end, Noah Fant, who had super high expectations. They spent on wide receivers. That line is questionable.
I think, so like Rashawn, they might get Rashawn, or even trade back a little bit.
I would love to see them either trade back or pick a lineman, but knowing them, I do not think that they have completely bought into
True Lock.
Drew Lock. So Mac Jones would be a possibility, but I'm gonna have to agree that they probably won't pick another offensive, weapon to
No,
lead.
it's either between a tackle or Mac Jones because even the trade back also because I don't. There's no linebackers this high that are gonna go. They don't need. I'm pretty sure they don't need secondary, and they definitely don't need weapons for the offense. They have Melvin Gordon coming back, and all the wide receivers. And Cortland Sutton even coming back next year. But
Unless they went with another wide receiver, which would be kind of crazy.
There's no way that would be kind of retarded. But it's either gonna be Rashawn. I think it's gonna be Rashawn Slater. They need to bolster that line. That would kind of be weird to spend on a top 10 or on a QB when they really need to address some other stuff. You can even do next year, get a QB or free agency, but I don't think right now. I think you stick with Drew Lock one more season, see what happens. Because Cortland Sutton was also hurt. Jerry Jeudy was a rookie. The guy from Penn State was a rookie. So I think by the time this year coming, they all work together and do stuff outside of the facility, and they all work together. I think that'll help Drew Lock with his experience and his trust.
Yeah. No, it's definitely going to be an interesting year for this team because, like you said, they're going to have all those guys. Plus, Von Miller. See, he's definitely still got some juice in the tank. You got Bradley Chubb coming back for another year. They got that safety spot locked up. So, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Slater here, help bolster that line, help on that blind side, potentially. Let's go with that. And now we got the Cowboys. Look at this. 4 straight Alabama guys. So here's the thing with the Cowboys. They are notorious for picking up and drafting literally only offensive players. Like, that's all they care about. And it goes to show on the field because their defense is quite atrocious. And it has not led them to success. Like, obviously, they're like the king of going 8-8, if that. So, obviously, they're going to have Dak back. Obviously, they're going to have one of the highest paid running backs in the league with Zeke. Is this the year they go with some defense, spend an early pick on him, or are they going to, take the big name, Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, let's say if Pitts potentially fell here, would they pick him? I think they would. Or are they going to pick someone like a Christian Barmore or a cornerback like Patrick? What do you think?
I think they either go with Patrick or JC. I know JC's hype is coming up and his stock is really rising for that reason. But I do think they go cornerback. Their D line is, it's okay. It's not. I don't think they're going to put in Christian Barmore is going to be that guy that they need. But I think JC or Patrick is that guy that they need at the corner. Because last year or the year before they drafted the cornerback out of Bama too, Stephon Diggs' brother, and he was doing good. So I think they get a quarterback this draft.
I'm gonna agree with you, and I think by the time the draft day comes, JC's stock will be risen even higher.
Yeah, but knowing Jerry, he's gonna take Alabama guy Patrick. Because they took what's his name last year also, and he was pretty good.
That is true. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Let's go with Patrick on this guy. Got the Giants. All right, obviously, quarterback. They're in love with Danny Dimes. I still have questions. The O-line is still mediocre. Obviously, you got Stephon Diggs. Saquon Barkley. Wide receivers, you got Shepard and Sterling, but, Golden Tate, he's got to go.
Yeah, they spent $20 day too.
That defense is really bad. The defensive line isn't too bad, but their linebackers are terrible. They're starting David Mayo. And really, really not a good linebacker is Blake Martinez. He swallows. You see him get ran through by Kyle Juszczyk when we played. He's just slow, and not very good in the passing game. But who do you got the Giants picking up here?
They were saying a lot. We're saying to get Jalen Waddle just for the type of player he is. But they didn't sign Kenny. They have Sterling. Uh, they have Saquon. They have Ingram. But that defense, I think they either go JC because they don't have and the linebackers are all second round right now. They're not any top 15 linebackers right now. So you either go, I say wide receiver or DB.
So do you see them going JC or you see them going Waddle? I could, I could see Waddle for sure.
Yeah, I think just to help them with Jones's
development and
yeah.
all that.
It's hard to do. I mean, they do obviously look at the need of tackling guard, but I don't see a guard coming this high. Like it's either going to be either Darshaw or the Tucker from USC.
Yeah, they did spend on a offensive lineman last year, and helped a bit, but that line is still struggling. Will Hernandez holding it down, and then just a couple old guys. So I'm gonna agree with you. Get a wide receiver here, probably second, later rounds. Pick up some line.
Oh yeah,
to help solidify that.
Yeah,
let's go with that guy. Now we got the Eagles, and this seems like the perfect opportunity to get Devontae Smith, right?
Knowing the Eagles, yeah, but they were talking about getting competition, so I'm guessing they're looking at Mac Jones to fall too. But I don't think they're going to be that stupid and pick up a quarterback when they need certain aspects. They go Devontae.
How many years in a row have they passed up on the best wide receiver in the draft for someone who just ended up being mediocre? They got who they Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah,
they've whiffed on every wide receiver pick. Now the question is, do they spend another early pick on a wide receiver?
They either go wide receiver or cornerback. They lost the Mims. I'm pretty sure Jalen Mims or whatever his name is.
Pay the Bills.
They can't get a quarterback right now. I don't think they're going to get Mac. They need a receiver. Like I said, linebacker many times. They're all second rounders. So I believe it's going to be JC or Devontae. And I think being the Eagles, they're going to get Devontae.
I'm going to agree. I think they're going to try to, make up for those whiff picks they've had before. They don't want to hear another year of, you got an opportunity again to get the best guy.
Yeah.
Potentially. So I'm going to agree. We're going to go with Devontae, and hopefully that works out for them. I like Jalen. I hope he does good this year. Like we saw him in that Cardinals game look real good. But now we got the Chargers. They got their quarterback for the future, and Herbert. They got Derwin James, young safety back there, absolute stud, obviously. So obviously no Mac Jones. Defensive line is questionable. You got the edge rush, but the interior is questionable.
Yeah.
Offensive line is also very, very questionable.
I think they go, J.C. Horn or offensive line. I know they need DBs, but the offensive line really needs to help with Justin. He did obviously really good last year, broke a couple records, but I don't know if they get Christian Darshaw. I like the guy from USC, Tucker. He's pretty good. Maybe even they don't need to edge. I don't see Barrymore going this high. I feel like he's in the drop. But yeah, Tucker can play tackle or guard. He played both at USC, and he's really good.
I definitely agree that they're going to need an offensive lineman. I don't think they take the chance in passing on their guy if they really like somebody on the offensive line, such as Darshaw or even Stanford Little has looked really good, but he's been kind of draft stock falling a little bit also. Do you see them taking a quarterback?
I can see them taking a quarterback. I know they need to help that DBs because Derwin James always been hurt. This is the second year too. But They have what's his name? Chris Harris is a free agent. I don't think he's going to come back. So they do need to bolster up that the DBs. With JC falling maybe this far because I think that he could go potentially top 10.
I
But
think this would be a steal for the Chargers.
but falling to them, I think they would have to get him.
Yeah, I'm have to agree with you. I think I'm gonna go GC here.
Yeah, because the O line is pretty depth this draft. I like it.
Yeah, I think they could most likely snag someone in the second round who has like that same first round talent, but
Yeah.
just drops. So, but this is the team that really, really needs some help on the offensive line, and their defense was not very good last year either. They have a lot of, this is just a roster who went all in a couple years ago, and they're seeing the effects for it now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure didn't the safety didn't retire, Harrison?
He may have.
I don't remember, but I did a mock draft and I had them taking Trayvon as a safety.
Interesting pick. That is an interesting pick.
I feel a tackle, so
I feel I could see that for sure. I was also thinking of they might pick up Mac. Mac's we got him falling a little bit here.
Yeah.
Kirk is getting a little older. They're kind of thinking of the next step in their franchise. They might want to bring in that guy. Obviously, if he falls all the way to 15, then it's GG. We already know. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I think safety. They had a lot of trouble on defense last year. It's either gonna be tackle or safety. I think for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they actually go tackle because I'm pretty sure they just lost tackle.
Yeah, they have really nobody over there, so it was a good spot for Darrisaw.
Either Darrisaw or not Little, the other guy from OSU.
Tucker?
No. Who the hell is he? No, he's up. He's up. Jenkins, yeah. Yeah, Jenkins is a really good. He's underrated.
No, you have Dylan also.
But knowing that, I think they're gonna go Darshall.
So this is what everybody's afraid of, right? Mac Jones falling 15.
He's definitely gonna get picked up by the Patriots. There's no doubt. They even trade out to get him.
Yeah, I think this would be like a dream for the Patriots. Obviously, they'll probably let Cam start, but the leash will be short, and injury, bad play, anything. Just like Jimmy G's situation, he's gonna get slotted in.
But it is Ohio State and Alabama QBs don't really pan out to pro level, so it's kind of up in the air.
So we'll see. The Niners and the Patriots, if it turned out this way, it would be easy. It would be interesting to see if that ends up being true or false with this draft. If it continues or it breaks the mold. I'm gonna easily go Mac Jones there. Now Cardinals, they have actually had some pretty good drafts, or at least last
year.
Yeah. They picked up a bunch of big name guys who were just like, not exactly top 10 picks, but there are guys who everybody knew from the college football, big highlight type players, and they ended up being super solid. I could see Isaiah Simmons definitely getting a lot more playing time this year, hopefully at linebacker instead of trying to run safety. Their cornerback, what's his name? Cornerback they drafted last year.
Oh, it wasn't last year. Oh my god!
2 years ago. He's a stud.
Washington.
Yeah, I think they got a cornerback last year and the year before, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a stud. So this is gonna be an interesting pick. Isabella hasn't exactly panned out. He's definitely a speedster, but Kyler could use some help on the line, but you could also say that defense is why they didn't win more of those games.
Yeah, I think you move what's his name down, yeah, to linebacker and get Trevion, or even get Christian Barrymore if he drops this far. But I don't think they would go interior right now.
Yeah, I mean they could. They got Chandler.
And
And did they just pick?
they lost Hassan.
Yeah, they lost Hassan. Hassan is a beast. I really like Hassan. It's for me. It's between these two guys. I could see another linebacker just to get some of those older guys out and get a new linebacker core in with Isaiah.
Yeah, Wash is good. He's more of a coverage guy too. So I mean, you have Wasu with
Is it Byron Murphy? Is that his name?
yeah, Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy, that's his name.
And then with what's his name coming down? If they move him down the linebacker, I think that's the best position, moving down the linebacker.
Yeah. And obviously, no more Patrick Peterson. So I think the secondary is gonna need some help. They're gonna have to step it up. I'm gonna go with
what cornerbacks are left? I think
corners. Yeah, man, I'm thinking about it. The more I think about it, I'm kind of leaning corner.
Greg's draft stock's coming up too. I know a lot of teams have liked him, and a lot of scouts have been talking about him.
Yeah, man. This is a tough one. This one could go a lot of different ways. But I think I'm gonna go if he drops to them, I feel like they're gonna go Barrymore.
Yeah.
Just because it's a need. It's something that's gonna, having that interior rush is gonna free up Chandler a little bit more. I think I'm gonna go Barrymore. You agree?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, you got the Raiders. The Raiders. Obviously,
I was thinking to myself, they was going for the fastest guy, and Bateman was pretty fucking fast.
But that is true. They got Ruggs last year, though.
Yeah, I think they go defense most definitely.
They have so at safety last year. We know that. Oh, why am I blanking on names? Total stud.
Oh,
what's his name?
Yeah, he's from Jonathan Abram.
Yeah, Abram. We know Abram's a stud, but the only question with him is he going to stay on the field? Linebackers are a little weak. They picked up some free agents last year who did the job decently, but I could see them picking up a rookie to kind of solidify that slot and not just the plug and play type of guy.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I kind of don't think they're going to go for, at least not in the first, because they did get a wide receiver in the first round last year. But then again, also they got one in free agency. So, they did lose Aguilar, but I still think that maybe later down in the draft they'll try to get a wide receiver. Maybe in the second.
Defense, most definitely.
I also agree. Trayvon, he could play the free or the strong, and you could run with Abram and him both back there, kind of some ball hawks.
Yeah.
Or we could be going with a linebacker here. I could definitely see either way, or even a lineman if they want to solidify that line, because they just kind of cleared house a bit.
Caleb Farley dropping so far that they take the chance on him also.
Yeah, I could see a lot of different moves here for the Raiders. They have quite a bit of needs, to be honest. Corner is a little soft too. Obviously, they
got what? Oh, not Sean Wade. They got a first round last year also.
Yeah, Ohio State guy, right?
Yeah, they need. I think they go Trevon or linebacker.
Yeah,
well, they lost. They traded. What's his name? Hudson too. But there's no. I wouldn't see them taking a lineman this high.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Trayvon here.
Yeah, I think they go safety.
So the Dolphins really have a lot to work with. Obviously, we had them take Jamar.
I think they go Jeremiah or a cornerback because they just lost. They cut what's his name, from the Patriots. Kyle Van Noy. They cut him.
Yeah, they did. He's more of a dress guy, but they have Jerome Baker, who's promising. cornerbacks are not too solid. I've been seeing a lot of hype on Greg Newsome.
Yeah.
This could be a spot where you see them reach on a tackle or some sort of edge rush.
Yeah, I think Quiddy has definitely fallen, but he's definitely pretty good. Jason really stacked his draft stock rose with his 40. He ran like a 4.34 as an edge. But I do think they need defensive help, and they go either linebacker or corner. Because I think they go second round, they're definitely going to get a lineman with that pick.
Yeah, I think they hold off on the line and pick up someone, another young linebacker to help with that core with Jerome Baker.
Yeah,
Get them out there.
Jerome's a stud. Like,
yeah,
he needs help.
Kind of like how the Niners did. They got Fred in a later round, but he ended up working out, and then they picked up Dre, and now they have a young linebacker core, and it's working out. So, I'm gonna go with that. I like that. I think that'll be good for them. So here we have the Falcons, who did the trade.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get Greg or Quiddy.
So obviously they have a lot of needs. I don't think that they're gonna get obviously Matt Ryan's future replacement at this point. We still do have a lot of big names on the board. Obviously, they just got rid of Mack, who's a long-time staple in their line, so their line is looking a little soft now, more than it already was.
Yeah, that's true. It's different when their defense is so bad.
Yeah, their defense is, we know the importance of edge rush and how it helps the secondary. And it just seems like the Falcons get thrown, like 400 yards on every time they play anyone, despite whoever they have. That defensive line, the edge rush, the penetration just isn't there. I think that is something they need to address before even going after a corner, if you ask me.
It's just the fact that Caleb's fallen so far that he was like a top 10, obviously, pick. With him his injuries, but I think if a team wanted to reach, I think it'd be the Falcons or even the Bears. That's next because they got rid of Kyle Fuller. But the next two picks are either going to be, I think, corners Greg Newsome or Caleb Farley, or they might even get edge. But they do need to bolster that defensive back units on both teams.
Yeah, I could see going Caleb here, maybe Greg the next pick.
Yeah, I like that because they both need to address that secondary.
Because the Falcons are a team that really needs to take a chance on a hit. They can't really afford whiffing on this pick.
Yeah.
So I think the upside here is better for them, whereas the Bears have a little bit more leeway to have a little bit more of a project guy or someone who's going to take a little bit more time. I think if Caleb works out, he could be someone who could come in immediately and play really well for them.
Yeah, most definitely.
So the Bears, or are we looking at Bateman for the Bears also?
Yeah, I think because who do they have? They want to trade Anthony Miller. He's not that good. That's their number 2 guy, pretty much. They have Allen Robinson.
Obviously, it's stud, but he can't do everything on his own.
Yeah, they got rid of Jimmy Graham. So I do think they go either Elijah Moore or Rashard Bateman. Elijah Moore is actually pretty good. I know he really blew up this year. His pro day was actually really good too. He's pretty fast. He is a little bit undersized. I think he's 5'9". But he's a really good player.
Yeah, I think they need someone. Man, they really need a quarterback. Is what they need.
Your boy Andy Dalton.
Oh my God. I love Andy, but I mean, come on. They need something going on there. Could we see them in the second or third picking up Trask?
I would say the third, to be honest. I don't think anybody's gonna pick up Trask.
feel like he could drop pretty decently.
Yeah, even Kellen Mond. I was watching Kellen Mond pro day. He was actually really good, really underrated guy.
And he broke Johnny Manziel's records, right?
Even Davis Mills, yeah, Davis Mills pro day was pretty good. I know his hype started to grow after his pro day. Um, there's a lot of big name quarterbacks, but they're not that. I don't think they're going to pan out to the next level. But I do see them. I think going either wide receiver.
But what we know about the Bears is they have that one wide receiver who's just got wheels. I believe that's Miller, right?
Yeah,
He's a small, fast guy, kind of the same prototype as Bateman. I can see them taking someone like Moore, just because he's more of a prototypical like route running slot. Could be a nice 1-2 with Robinson.
Yeah, he's a short route.
So I'm gonna leave it up to you. Got Bateman, Moore.
It's hard because Bateman has a bigger name than Bateman has a bigger name than Moore, but it's Bateman did sit out. I'm pretty sure he sat out last year too. I think they go
tough.
Yeah, I think they go. I definitely think they go Moore. I think Bateman goes to the Tennessee Titans.
That would be a good pick. They also just lost Jonnu
and Corey Davis.
So we got the Colts here. Obviously, they have Paris. T.Y.'s old. They picked up a running back last year. Quarterback is
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. So why did I blank out? Yeah, Carson Wentz. So that's going to be exciting. We could see them trying to get a weapon here with Bateman for Wentz.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know I would definitely see them doing that, but I do think they go defensive first. I think they go edge or they get a tackle or guard.
I can see a tackle. Like I could see Little going.
I think Little's gonna drop a lot more than people think. He really wasn't. He's good, but he wasn't that good in this past year. I think Dillon or Tevon or even
Jenkins is good. He's huge.
I think it's either going to be a tackle or a defensive guy. Well, I mean,
I could definitely see Jenkins. You know, he put just protect Carson Wentz on that edge.
Their O line's really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking, like, you know, when you think of the Colts, you think of a really good
around to get to O line, but I think they need to address because they lost Justin Houston. That was a big part of their defense, even though it was getting up there in age. He was really good. So I think they go either Quiddy or the guy from Georgia. I do think they address the offensive line in round 2.
Yeah, and another good point is that that defense is super good for the Colts.
Yeah, most definitely, it's really good. I think they need a more rotation with Justin leaving, having the role that he did have. I think Jason does drop though, but I think Quiddy or Aziz goes this pick.
I feel like Aziz might be the bigger name, but I think Quiddy is as you can see, the ADP 24. He's kind of the guy that everyone's picking up. Yeah. And I think Quiddy's gonna be the guy they would pick in this situation, even though Aziz has a lot of hype and like has big play highlights. Quiddy's more of the right now. This is who we need to pick because he's gonna come in and be an immediate factor, not someone who's just a lot of hype in college, but we're not too sure how he's gonna translate.
Yeah.
Even though I think he's also good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go Quiddy. Now here the Titans need a wide receiver. They need someone to help out AJ Brown. They literally have Humphreys and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know who else.
And also lost Jonnu.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
You know, as you can see, Bateman dropped all the way down to here. Could we see them picking him up?
I think they pick up a wide receiver. I don't think they need anything else right now other than that. They can get Greg also, but I know they lost Asante, or not Asante. They lost what's his name he went to the Giants too. Um, cornerback. Fuck.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But I do think they do the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
So
I'm agree with you. I feel like this is a good spot, 22 for a wide receiver. Even his rank ADP 55. This is around where he's being seen to fall.
yeah,
I think if he does not hit here, he's gonna hit here with the Jets,
yeah.
or even another guy to help out that offense with the
Jack-
Jags. So yeah, I'm agree with you and go Bateman. Regardless, he's gonna go within these up to 25.
Yeah,
Unless people start getting crazy with the edge rush. Terrence is also a stud. And as you see, there's a lot of first round projected tackles, actually. And tackle is a spot that, as you can see, is a common trend. Tackle, 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 tackle. Everybody needs a tackle. So towards the later round of the first, we could be seeing a lot of tackles getting picked up. Or just offensive linemen as in general. New York Jets here. Obviously, defense better than the offense. We have the quarterback of the future, we believe. So he could help solidify with it. Now looking at the edge rush, looking at Aziz and Jason. But like you said, Jason's kind of falling. Aziz has the hype. Is this the big name they'd be trying to make a splash with? Or what do you say here?
I think they reach on a receiver because I
Just
they definitely need some help on the offense side of the ball. Even on a running back, they don't have a running back right now.
yeah, that is true.
I don't think they reach for running back. I think they go receiver.
Can't forget about Najee.
Yeah, I think they reach for a receiver. But I know the way Salah is. I know he wants to solidify that defense. I know you got Quentin Williams stepping up. I'm pretty sure they run a 3-4 if I'm not mistaken. So I think
Now they'll probably run the Seattle scheme.
yeah. I do.
So it's just all they care about is that edge rush. Especially with that mindset that Salah's gonna have. He's gonna want to solidify the edge rush because that, in fact, is gonna help the secondary. If the quarterback has less time to throw, it's less time for routes to get open, less pressure off the corners. So I could see either Aziz or Jason. Like you said, I could also see a wide receiver.
I can
Could
also
also see a second round Najee pick. I can see all these things happening.
yeah. It's different, but I think they do go since they do have another pick coming up. I do think they go defensive end and either Jason or Aziz.
Yeah, I think I think I like Aziz here just because he's been just rising up the rankings.
Yeah,
As we see, he was extremely consistent. 91 pass rush grade for PFF. Gotta go Aziz here. Steelers. All right. Obviously, Big Ben's gonna be a starter this year. You
yeah.
just locked up Juju. They lost Pouncey, right? Did Pouncey retire?
Pouncey and Villanueva is not there anymore, so I see them going tackle or guard. But they did just lose James Conner, but I don't think they're the first team to go running back. I
They
do.
also do have Benny Snell, who's
Yeah,
honestly a stud.
he was lining up when he had the chance. But I do see them going either Dylan Rands or Rondaz or Tevin.
Yeah, that's someone you've been talking about a lot, Dylan. He's actually someone I really like coming off an injury when he was a freshman. Look, 24 career pressures on 715 snaps.
Yeah,
That's consistency at its finest. I think they go Dylan here. I could see Dylan even going sooner than this.
it depends on what they really. I think they go tackle. To be honest with you, I think they go Tevin and move him to left guard or left tackle. Just his size and his athleticism. Because as you see, he's Dylan's pretty small, smaller than you would want to be as a tackle. They could move him down to guard or something like that. But I do. Tevin's is a pretty good with that also.
You see Tevin here? See, oh, this guy's got 4 pressures on 2. It's about the same rate, but yeah, man. I can agree with you. If you're looking for strictly a tackle, you want tall guy, big guy who's gonna push out the edge, give time for your quarterback, especially Big Ben. Who we know isn't as mobile as he once was, but still can move on his feet a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna side with you on this one. Tevin's gonna be a stud, and he's gonna lock in with the Pittsburgh Steelers nicely. So now we got Jacksonville again. Interesting pick here. Obviously, we had the first overall pick with Trevor. Wide receiver, you have Laviska Shenault. You have obviously James Robinson, who overperformed. You have a lot of weapons, but it was on a losing team. To be fair, take everything with a grain of salt. And a lot of checkdowns, a lot of gadget type of plays. So that line was not very good.
Yeah, I see them going tackle or a edge rusher also.
Yeah, I was gonna say that defense is not very good either. So this is kind of a tough one. I could see them going with a tackle for sure, just like someone who's gonna be there for Trev, because their line is really rocky.
Yeah, they just locked up Cam Robinson too, but I mean, he's top 10, maybe top 15 tackle, but I mean, he's all right. They do need to solidify the opposite side or even move him down to guard. That's where Dylan Rondez comes into play. You can move him down to guard. You can move him to tackle with his size.
Yeah, I like him being a swing guy because you can always count on injuries.
Yeah, or you can even get an edge right now, and Jalen Phillips is really underrated.
Yeah, we still have Jason here also.
Yeah.
Reported 4.3 speed.
That would caught me off guard at the end. That's crazy.
Man, that's wild. Ah, man.
It's different because I think Trevor, I think he has the IQ to go up to the next level easy with Urban Meyer also. But they do have a lot of weapons on offense. You have Colin Johnson, who really stepped it up last year. Went to school with him, by the way, pretty cool. And Laviska, like you said, DJ Chark, and James Robinson showing up. So that offensive line,
definitely no wide receiver.
Yeah,
I don't think they need a running back.
Yeah, defensive line or offensive tackle. I'm telling you, Tucker's pretty good also. I don't think he might not drop this far, but ADP on this one is kind of weird. I don't know if it's actually us, like if people just fucking around or actually people doing it. But I do like Tucker. I don't know if he's gonna fall this far. If he did, like that'd be a good pickup for them because he can play, like I said, tackle or guard. And that's really what they need right now to solidify that offense because they do have a good. Actually, they do have a good guard and a good center. But that right tackle and left guard actually need to do something about that.
So we're feeling Dylan, or I'm kind of siding with Tucker.
Yeah, he can play outside or inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That looks good. Now we got the Browns, obviously coming off a good year. They have a good defense, aging a little bit with Olivier Vernon and those guys. Obviously, got Myles Garrett. He's going to be a menace no matter what. Wide receivers, you had the emergence of Higgins. Obviously, you got OBJ coming back. You got Landry, still a stud. He came back from really looked healthy last year for the first time in a while.
They picked up Jadeveon?
Yeah, I saw that. Also. So, this says edge rush here, but, now I don't think edge rush is going to be their primary concern. Also, they have Ward coming back. They have, this team is dangerous, man. This is a good team. They have Larry Ogunjobi, right? Still?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, man, their linebacker, that's what I wanted to look at because obviously they have
Mack Wilson.
There it is, yeah. I was looking at Nick Bolton here.
He's actually pretty good.
He is. some reason his draft stock has dropped. But I do like this guy. And if you're looking specifically for a linebacker who's going to be in the middle, not running someone who could go sideline to sideline, you see a 6'4", 260 guys, and someone who's going to go sideline to sideline. Exactly. So I mean, to me,
they might go even Jason and play him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. To me, right here, it's either Jason or, like I said, Bolton.
Yeah.
Who you feeling on this
I
one?
don't think they reach a Bolton, to be honest. I think they go with Jason.
Yeah, and we still have Greg here also.
Yeah,
but I can see Greg going to his next team, the Ravens. Even though that defense is super solid, they do need help at wide receiver. Terrence is still here. A lot of people saw him going. See, like his draft stock has just been rising like crazy lately.
I see them going backwards. I know Ronnie's not Ronnie. Brown wants to get traded because he wants to play left tackle. But it's different. Or they can even go edge in Jalen because he dropped so far. I think Jalen's a top 20 guy that can get picked up even top 25. But
yeah, I agree. I think honestly might be. I think you just made a good point. I think Jalen is actually the guy they would go with in this situation because he would probably be gone by now.
Yeah.
Realistically, this would be a great pick. So the Saints.
I really think the Saints needed a cornerback.
I mean, think about it. Last year they signed what's his name? Really not so good. Their corners are just mediocre. They lost Von Bell. They lost, or they had to start freaking.
They started a rookie that was really good
last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Emmanuel's older.
They cut him.
Yeah, he's older. He's gone. You have the other guy they drafted like 3 years ago, didn't really pan out. So you're just there with Michael Thomas and a bag of chips, pretty much.
I see them going Terrence Marshall, if anything.
Yeah, I think they're gonna need it. Oh God, they're starting. I don't know, man. If they start, what's his name? Friggin' Taysom.
Oh yeah.
I just see them running constantly. So they might be trying to.
I don't think they get offensive line. The offensive line is pretty stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, Terrence. The last couple picks here, we got really good teams now, so this is just nitpicking. Green Bay, obviously, Savage worked out for them. They have solid corners. They have Bakhtiari. Their line is pretty good. Don't have. I mean, obviously, running back, quarterback locked up. Wide receiver is very mid after Devontae.
I don't think there's another receiver right now that.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think they reach on anything right here.
Yeah. I think
I can see them going Greg.
Yeah. I think they played.
I think this would be a good spot for Greg, late first.
Jair coming is his this is his final year. So it's gonna be weird. Well, I can even see them getting Nick Bolton, to be honest, because their linebackers kind of cheeks.
That is true. The linebackers are mediocre. I'm not too sure why his draft stock has dropped so much recently, but I like him. I think he maybe had a mid showing at the pro day.
I think they play it safe and get Greg.
Yeah,
because I know they fucked up last year with getting what's his name.
So obviously they got Ed Oliver. The defense is really, really good. We started off the year talking about how good their defense was, and we ended up talking about how explosive their offense was. They lost John Brown, who's a stud.
I think this is the pick that they might take a running back. I think this might Travis goes. or even a defensive end.
Yeah, defensive end, I could see for sure. I mean, they have Matt Mulatto in the linebacker spot. They have another young guy linebacker, which on the name right now, but he's a stud. I don't think they're the linebacker. I doubt they go wide receiver because didn't they just sign a wide receiver and they have Cole Beasley and they have Stephon Diggs? Cornerback, Sante's been rising
Yeah.
in draft position. What other cornerback were you looking at?
What's up? Cornerback? Nothing.
Do you think it's Sante here?
Yeah, or even there's no other edge players to pick right now. I mean Rousseau, but I don't think Rousseau would get picked right now.
Yeah, I feel like everyone else here is kind of a reach. I feel like for value, it's either gonna be one of these tackles.
White, so I think they go cornerback probably then if that's what they really need. He's right there in the grasp. I think they get Dylan Rundez, or I think Rundez.
No argument from me there. We all saw the Super Bowl. We saw how just dreadful that went.
Get fucked, literally.
Yeah, so we gotta lock up that line. And last pick here for us, we're just doing the first round. Got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, they're gonna eventually, obviously not picking a quarterback. So no. Defensive interior. Yeah and no. I mean, they re-signed Sue, so
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna take a lineman who's gonna, and any lineman they take isn't gonna get valuable playing time this first year. I think they're still in a win now mode, so maybe showing up that safety spot, getting someone with the guy they got last year. But there really isn't much except for Jamar.
I really think that is.
Who kind of came out of nowhere recently.
Yeah, I don't know who that is at all.
You know what? What are your thoughts on this?
Bro, they just signed Giovanni Bernard too. I don't think they draft. They have 3 good to decent running backs. There's no, or they might even go Rondell Moore because they lost. They didn't re-sign. What's his name?
True.
I mean, but they have Scotty Miller. But I mean,
Scotty. Obviously, they tagged Godwin. Obviously, they still have Mike Evans.
And they might not even sign Godwin next year. So I think they go more.
Yeah, I think I agree with that because they might not be able to pay him.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna finish up the draft. Let's see what grade we get here. Let's see what we get. All right. Woo! A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus. Sheesh.
That's where it gets out of hand. Like, but they need that.
B plus, B minus. Okay, they didn't like the tackle selection there. I mean, it's needed though. It looks like they thought that they would get a wide receiver also, but maybe A minus for Devontae Smith for these guys. I think that'll be exactly what they need. Horn ended up looking good there. Mac Jones, A plus. Oh yeah, see, they like the trade that we did.
Yeah.
I think this would be a great pickup for the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, but definitely.
This would be kind of tough because
it's just what they need. Yeah, they already have a good DBs and stuff like that.
I mean, our reasoning behind that is we already picked up the wide receiver, to kind of help out the offense. So
we could have picked a guard or a tackle.
We could have. In hindsight, that might be the move, but I still think getting Jerome Baker, that second guy, is good. And look, we're on a roll right here. Elijah Moore, A minus. Obviously, they need help. Edge rush. That's great. See, they don't believe the hype, man. They don't believe the hype of disease. I do. They like the tackle here, Tucker. I know you're big on Tucker.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Man, look at all the edge rushers that are getting picked up in the first round.
They're really it's a backlog of edge rushers.
Asante. All right, let's see. Can we see an overall grade? A lot of A's here. Yeah, man. I'll take that. A plus in minus. Hey, honestly, if this was my report card right here, I'd be a happy guy. Sorry, Broncos, but I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think we did pretty good. All right, guys. We really appreciate you tuning in to us, listen to us ramble about who we think is going to go where and why. The next episode is actually going to be a fantasy football mock draft. We're going to go through the first round, who we think should go. Obviously, you've seen mock draft before. Fantasy football, we're going to say who's a sleeper, who we believe in, who we don't. And obviously, a little early. We're probably going to do it after the draft.
Yeah.
And then we'll. Either way, it's gonna be early, but it's never too early for a little fantasy football.
All the time.
But Cam, any closing words, man?
Draft's gonna be a good one. It's not as big as most of them are, but I think this is gonna be a turning point for some teams coming up.
Yep. Look, watch out for those Niners, man. I really don't think that Mac Jones is going 3. I'm believing in Fields, and I think there's just a lot to look out for. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back soon. Hey, shout out to all the boys out there. Leaving a like, comment, subscribe, couple buttons. Don't forget to ask questions down below, all that. And we will see you on the next one. Later.
It's still recording.